The Squaw Path is a GoGo Toons cartoon from Famous Studios. This was released in 1967. It's directed by Shamus Culhane and Eugster and written by Howard Beckerman, with a voice cast including Bob McFadden, and it is really, really uncomfortable. This is about Geronimo, and I will say, to the cartoon's credit, when I realised it was about Geronimo, I realised I didn't know that much about Geronimo. So after watching it, I decided to do some research, and I spent about half an hour just reading about Geronimo, and it was really interesting. So I guess credit to the cartoon for encouraging me to do that. But Geronimo and his son go and see a doctor called Squaw, and pretty much all of the characters in this, apart from Geronimo obviously, have names that are clearly trying to poke fun at the kind of typical Native American name. So that's not great. The animation of the characters is not so bad, and I say that because a lot of cartoons from this time and earlier on, Native Americans were depicted in really terrible ways. But this one, it's not as bad as some. It's still not great, but I don't feel like they were trying to make fun of their appearance, whereas a lot of other cartoons from this time might have done. Not that that makes it a good cartoon. And the doctor tries to set up Geronimo with a woman called Fullback. And she's supposed to be this unattractive woman who suddenly becomes obsessed with Geronimo, and Geronimo does not want this woman to be his squaw. And his son, who is quite a delightful character actually, I really like the character of the son, does what he can to help his father out in this situation. Honestly, the narrative is okay. It doesn't have any major issues with the narrative itself, but needless to say, the actual naming of the characters, the way they behave, their mannerisms, it's unnecessarily exaggerated in a lot of places. And as I said, it's maybe not as bad as some others from around this time, maybe slightly earlier, but just because you're not the worst, it doesn't mean that you're good. And I just found it to be really awkward, and I didn't really care for it. Would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't. But as I said, the good thing to come out of this is that I did go and do some Googling about Geronimo, and it was really fascinating. I really enjoyed that. So thanks to the cartoon for that. But as an animation, as a film, the Squaw Path is not great. The narrative structure is fine. The pacing is fine. The character of Geronimo is quite likeable. The son, as I said, I really did like him as a character. Some of the animation is okay, but it just doesn't feel very comfortable. So for me personally, it's not one that I'd recommend, and I definitely wouldn't watch it a second time.